Entitled men leaving their drinks on our table didn't expect us to fight back until we did. So, I got into a fight with two people tonight. The reason in itself was very dumb, but God, I was just tired of it. I met up today with two friends, Clara and Jenny, fake names. We went out to a bar and sat on one of the tables outside. There was a TV on the bar, so there were many people watching a football match with different drinks. We got our drinks, and after a while, a man came, left his drink on our table, and left. We looked at each other like, what the hell? The bar is literally 5 feet apart, and there weren't even that many people. He could have easily put his glass there instead of on our table, but whatever. We kept talking and drinking, and after a while there was another man who left his finished drink at our table. I can leave this here, right? He asked, didn't even wait for our answer, and left. Again, what the hell? We were annoyed, but whatever. Then came a polite guy and he asked us if he could leave his drink on our table for a bit because he was waiting for a friend. It was cold and his hands were freezing. We said, yeah, of course you can. Man, no worries. He even offered to put it on the floor if it annoyed us, but we had no problem with it. Gave the drink to his friend, thanked us, then they left. And after a while, another drink was left in our table. The guy didn't even look at us, he just put it there, and it was obvious it wasn't finished. So, I had enough. It may seem petty, but you aren't sitting in this table, therefore you don't use it. If he had asked us if he could leave it there for a moment like the previous guy, we would have had no problem, but he didn't. Rude. So, I took the drink, got up, walked towards him and offered it to him. Me, excuse me, this is yours. Him. What the? Is it bothering you that much? Me, yeah, it is. It hasn't been the first time and we aren't the bar. If you're finished with your drink, the bar is 5 feet apart from you. A friend of his took the man's drink and put both his and his friend's drink on our table to piss us off. So, I got up, grabbed the drinks and took them to the bar. I knew they weren't finished and I knew they'd be annoyed, but that's what happens when I run out of patience. I don't care anymore. They said I was being ridiculous while I walked away, and when I came back, Clara was yelling at one of them and tugging on one of the men's arm. I then saw she had my umbrella on her hand, and I realized that while I was returning the drinks, they had tried to steal my umbrella and Clara was getting it back for me. Jenny had been in shock, but at that she started arguing as well. They got more and more rude, saying how we had no manners when I had been nothing but polite with them. It was only when they yelled at us that we started to yell back at them. We kept telling them it wasn't their table, and that if it was only for a moment they could have asked us and we wouldn't have minded at all. At one point, to piss us off, one of them got dirty cans that had been on the floor and put them on our table. I threw them away while still arguing with them. One of their friends apologized to us and looked so embarrassed. They went away for a bit, and one of them came back for more, until we pointed out how he was a grown 50-year-old man harassing and arguing with women in their 20s over a table and a drink. The friend that had been supporting knew at that moment that they were embarrassing themselves, because he came back and told him, come on, man, you're an adult. If you want to watch the football match on the TV, then fine. And if you want to get a drink and there aren't any tables left, then that's a you problem. If they had asked like the third polite guy, we wouldn't have minded, but instead they blew it up because that's how drunk and bored they were. There were even people on our side telling them to leave us alone. I feel a bit silly now that I have a more clear head for how I behaved, but God, I was just so tired of people using our table as if it was theirs at that moment. I never insulted them, BTW. When I say I screamed at them, I mean that I kept remarking how it was our table and to leave us alone. Edit. I'm seeing a lot of comments saying the staff should have done something or wondering why we didn't tell the staff. First of all, in my country, there aren't bouncers at bars, they are at discos. Second, most people who were outside drinking would go to the bar, get the drink, pay for it, then leave and drink it outside. Finally, it was busier inside than outside, and there weren't many workers, and the ones who were working were doing everything at once, with some of them acting as both waiters and as bartenders. They probably didn't even see nor hear what was going on outside due to how many people were inside. They were just two drunk, idiotic men, and we were able to handle them. It all happened pretty fast anyway.